Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this online class. This is the first class on physics, and though it is a class on physics, the heading for the class is basic maths. Now, you might be wondering, why are we doing maths when this is a class for physics? Why are we doing maths? Anyone could tell me that? Why we are doing maths in the class of physics? Any reason for that? Do you understand the reason? Can you tell me what is the reason for doing maths? But this is supposed to be a class in physics. Why are you doing maths here? Anyone? Why are we doing maths when this is a class of physics? What are your thoughts? Anyone would like to say anything? I'm going to teach you physics, but the class says basic maths. Why does the class say basic math and why does the class not say basic physics? It must be a class of basic physics and not a class of basic maths. Why are we talking about a class of maths when it should be a class of physics? Well, we must understand that first of all, mathematics is the universal language. Physics, the language of physics, when you write an equation, is maths. Physics is physics, but when physics talks, it talks in maths. What do you mean by physics talking in maths? The heading of the chapter or heading of the class is basic maths, or you can say mathematics in physics. Physics talks in the language of maths. How does physics talk in the language of maths? As you can see, you must see that physics talks in the language of mathematics. Someone has done this annotation, so I'll just have to remove this. Just give me a minute. Well, we are back. So the annotations were enabled, so you were able to write on the screen. I have disabled them, so do not mark anything on the screen. Anyways, you cannot mark them anyways. I forgot to disable that. Anyways, as I said, physics talks in the language of maths. You must have seen this equation that I am pointing out. F is proportional to m1, m2 by r square. This F is known as gravitational force. Have you seen this force, gravitational force? Yes or no? Please raise your hand so that I know that you have heard about this force, which is known as the gravitational force. Yes, you have heard about this gravitational force. You have seen that this gravitational force, which is the force between two masses, and I must tell you the force between two masses, gravitational force, you would have heard that this gravitational force is proportional to the gravitational force is proportional to the masses m1 and m2. If there are two masses placed like this in space, one of the mass is m1, the other mass is m2, and they are separated by a distance of r, you would have seen that this gravitational force is proportional to m1, m2, and we call it that it is inversely proportional to distance squared. By inversely proportional, what I mean, here if you see, if the mass m1 is increased or mass m2 is increased, the force here increases. We call this as directly proportional. Force is directly proportional to mass. If you increase the value of mass, the force will increase. If you decrease, if I mark it by blue, if you decrease the value of mass, whether you decrease the value of m1 mass or you decrease the value of m2 mass, the force will decrease. That is denoted by the blue arrow. If you increase mass m1 or m2 by the red arrow, the force increases. Do we understand this? Can I have some raise hand that we understand this? Such a relation where you increase one quantity, the other quantity also increases is known as direct proportionality. But if you look at this equation, the second one, which is in a box now, gravitational force equation, here if I increase the value of R, the value of F would decrease. Yes or no? If I increase the value of R, the value of F would decrease. This is known as inversely proportional. This is known as inversely proportional. So, how do I say this? Force is directly proportional to mass and force is inversely proportional to mass. So, if I write it in the form of an equation, it will look like this. F is proportional to m1 m2 by r squared. And you have seen it also in this form. F is equal to g into m1 into m2 divided by r squared. Do we remember this equation? Here g is a constant. Here g is a constant which is known as your gravitational constant. Can I have your raised hand that we know this equation? Obviously, we are not going to start physics with this equation. We are not going to start physics with this equation. This is just to give you a hint of that concept that whenever you have an equation, and this is an equation, whenever you make an equation, up till the point you make that equation, that problem is a problem of physics. Physics will help you in making that equation. But to solve that equation, you would need maths. So if I write the equation F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square, that equation is made by physics. But if I ask you, Beta, please find out the value of F, I will give you the value of m1, I will give you the value of m2, I will give you the value of r. You cannot find the value of F if you don't know maths, if you don't know multiplication, if you don't know division, if you don't know how to find a square. Physics will not help you then. The only thing that will help you is maths, because maths is the language of physics. Do we understand this? Can I have raised hands from everyone? That to understand physics or to become good in physics, to solve problems in physics, that is the main criteria. We have to solve problems in physics. At the end of every problem, we will come to an equation, some sort of an equation. That equation has to be solved by maths. Physics cannot solve it. And therefore, we have to understand some basic concepts in maths. Is there everyone in the class and everyone understands this? Revant, Varun, Varshita, Vamshi, Rachana, Siddhant, Rohit, Rakesh, Maitri, Zaid, Jahangir, Kaushik. Can I have raised hands from everyone? Kartik, Gunsri, Mansa, Sai, Ishwar, Abhi. Everyone is there in the class, right? So just you can raise your hands. I will be able to understand that you are listening to me and you understand the concept. At any point in time, if you don't understand anything, you have chat. You can write the message, and I will make that point very clear. If you still have doubts, you can always raise your hands. I am continuously watching all your hands there. Anyone raises hand, I will come back to that person. Kartik, just tell me what happened, beta. Want to ask anything? You can unmute yourself and ask. Kaushik? Kartik? No, no one asked. Okay, this was raise hands to understand that maths is the language of physics. We'll have to understand some basic maths. And when I use the term basic maths, I actually mean basic maths. Now, what is meant by basic maths? We just have to go through some very simple things about basic maths that you have read from standard 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Only those small things, not the entire course of 6th standard, 7th standard. You say, oh, sir, we'll have to study 5 classes. No, not 5 classes. You don't have to study from 6 to 10, the entire mathematics. No. We will only concentrate ourselves into those parts which we will require in physics, and that is a very small portion of maths. Very small and very easy portion of maths that we are going to start with. Because without understanding them, we will not be able to solve questions. And therefore, we must start with those basic maths ke concepts, and they are very simple. You already know them. We'll just revise them. So, are we ready, everyone? Are we ready to go through some basic concepts of maths? Please raise your hands to go through some basic concepts of maths. Just revise them so that when we are confronted with problems, we should be able to solve them. I'm getting some raise hand, but not from everyone. I would require everyone to raise hand so that I understand that everyone is there with me. Remember, we all have to study together. Studying in group, studying together, helping each other. That is what we have to understand, and that is what that is going to make us better in maths. All of us are together. That's good. I'm getting some great raise hands. Everyone is awake. Stay awake. We are going to understand some basic concepts in maths, and don't worry, at any point you think that you have not understood anything, beta, you can always raise your hands. You can always raise your hands and ask me. I'm always there to help you out. Let us start with a very simple question. I always start things with a question and I try to explain it with the help of an example. For example, if I just give you a very simple question, 2x plus 3 is equal to 5. 2x plus 3 is equal to 5, and these type of equations are going to come from the very first chapter in physics. This x may be something known as distance or displacement or velocity or acceleration or anything. Right now for us it is only x. Maths believes in x. 2x plus 3 is 5. Very simple question. This type of equations, if you remember, can anyone tell me what is the name of this equation? What are these equations known as? Just for common knowledge. This has got nothing to do with physics, nothing to do with maths even. Can you tell me what is the... Yes, who said this? I could not see. This is known as linear equation. Well done, beta. This is known as linear equation. In fact, if I say the entire word, it is known as linear equation in
One variable.
Very good. This is known as linear equation in one variable. Why only one variable? Variable is the unknown quantity. What is the unknown quantity here?
X.
X is the unknown quantity. That is correct. X is the unknown quantity. There is only one unknown quantity or one variable. What do you understand by the term variable? Now let me ask you this.
We used instead of
Anything that? Yes, Karthik, say it.
a number we use.
Variable is a quantity which may have different values. It does not.
Yes, variable. Variable means something varies. Something which is not constant, something which can change depending on the conditions. Something that can change depending on the condition. For example, if it is raining, I'll have to probably carry an umbrella. I have to carry an umbrella depending on whether it's raining or not. Carrying an umbrella is a variable here. That's a day-to-day example. Things which can change depending on the temperature. See, for example, I have written the equation as 2x plus 3 is equal to 5. If I write the equation in a different way, if I write a different equation, let us say I write x plus 10 is equal to 5. The equation has changed. The value of x will be different, and that is why x is known as a variable. It depends on the equation that I have got. It can have different values. Do we understand this? I hope everyone understands this. Variable is something that can change its value, something that has a value which is depend on something else, and it can keep on changing. Let me go back to the original question. And the original question was 2x plus 3 equals 5. Can you tell me what is the value of x? X is the variable here. X is the unknown quantity here.
One.
Wow, I am getting answers so fast. That is good. Saifuddin, your answer is correct. One is the answer. Remember, beta, whenever we are doing physics or maths or anything, or any problem for that matter, for me, what matters is not how, not the correct answer. For me, what matters is, have you done it correctly? How do I do it? How do I do it? So what I do is, I will take 3 on this side. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Plus 3. When it goes on the other side, it will become minus
Minus.
3. Correct? And it will become minus 3. So the equation will look like this. 2x will be equal to 5 minus 3. Do we understand this? It's a very simple thing. Plus 3 on this side will become minus 3 there, right? So 5 minus 3 becomes 2. So my equation becomes 2x is equal to 1. Oh, sorry. Why not 1? 2x is equal to 2. Then how do I find the value of x? I will take 2 on the other side. 2 is multiplied here. So
Dividing.
yes. When it goes on the other side, it will be divided. 2 divided by 2. And my answer is simply 1. This is how we solve a question of this nature. Do we all understand this? I want raise hands from everyone in the class, offline class, online class, everyone. Beta, you are in the offline class. What's your name, beta? Offline class means the classroom. Great. We have. Let me now. Okay, I understand that everyone understands this. Now I will ask. I have lowered all hands. Is there anyone who has not understood how this is done? Now only those people will raise hands who have not understood. Jahangir, you have not understood? You can unmute yourself. No, Jahangir has understood. His hand has gone. Okay, that means every one of us has understood this. Now let me make this more fascinating and let me change the question to like this. Question number 2. 3 by x minus 2 is equal to half. 3 by x minus 2 is equal to half. I told you in the first class that you will have to make a fair copy. Have you got your fair copies with you? Yes or no? Everyone should get their fair copies. Everyone should also have a rough copy so that you can solve the questions in the rough copy and then share them once they are correct. This is the equation that I have given you. 3 by x minus 2 is equal to half. 3 by x minus 2 is equal to half. Can you tell me what is the value of x? X is a variable. This is again linear equation in one variable. I'm waiting for your answers. I'm waiting for answers from everyone, not only staff, but from everyone who's in the class, online class as well as offline class. Abhi, Arjun, Ishwar, Ramcharan Reddy. Ramcharan is quite popular these days in north of India. Jamuna, Bhumika, Manasa, Gunshri, Kalyan, Kartik, Kaushik, Bhanu, Jahangir, Saifuddin, Maitri, Rakesh. Give me your answers. Rohit, Saket,
X is
Siddhant,
1, sir.
Vamshi. I don't know the answer, but I've just made the equation. So I will just believe whatever answers you are getting are
X
correct.
is 1, sir.
X is?
1, sir.
X is 1. That is correct. I think that is correct. No, X is 1, 3 minus 2. If X is 1, 3 minus 2 will be 1. That is not the correct answer. Probably we have done a mistake. Remember, when I get the equation,
So, sir.
yes, it might be 2. No, it might not also be 2. Let us say 6 by 5. Yes, I'm getting some answers. Remember, getting 6 by 5. Okay. Remember, beta, getting the equation, getting up till this stage is the work of physics. I will teach you enough physics, more than enough physics, that will get you to this stage. After this stage, you will have to solve the problem. And this class is meant for you to become good in the next steps, which I might not be solving because I will leave it to you to solve them. I will leave it to you to solve them. So, right now we are doing practice for that thing. Do we understand this? We are practicing to understand how to solve this problem. Again, it's a very simple thing. Let us solve it together. So what is the first step here? The first step here is I will take this 2, let us call it as minus 2, and I will take it, it is minus here, and I will take it to this side. So from minus it will become plus. Do we understand this? 3 by x will become half plus 2. Remember, one more hint I am going to give here, one more very important point I am going to say here, and you remember this. Many a times you will be coming across fractions in your questions, fractions in your answer. Now, what everyone does is convert this fraction into decimals. Well, that's a good practice. That's a good practice for your 10th standard. That may be a good practice for solving problems in maths. But while you are doing problems in physics, I will give you a small request. I will give you a small hint. Do not convert fractions into decimals. What is the hint I have given you? Important point. Do not convert, and I hope you note it down. Do not convert fractions into decimals. Keep fractions as fractions, because what is going to happen, beta, and you will realize it very soon, that in physics, these fractions will get multiplied or divided by some other fraction, and your calculations will become simpler. So I request you, do not convert fraction into decimal. Keep fractions as fractions and do not convert them. Anyways, having said this, on the right hand side, I have half plus 2. How do I solve it? I take the LCM 2. Yes or no? Do we understand this? The LCM will be 2. In the numerator, I will have 1 plus 2. I hope you understand how I'm doing it. That must be equal to 3 by x. In the next step, I will write 3 by x as 3 by 2. Am I doing correctly? Have I written this 2 correctly? Yes or no?
No, sir. 4.
Sir, 4 also, sir. 4 will become, sir.
Yes, it will be 4. So I made a mistake so that you can see it. It is not 2, it is 4. I hope you remember how to find out the LCM. I hope you remember how to add fractions with a number or fractions with themselves. That was a small test of this. That was wrong. That is not 2. Obviously, that is 4. So 4 plus 1 becomes 5. This is the value that I get. Now, there are different ways in which you can do this.
Cross multiplication.
Yes, cross multiplication. I hope you understand how to cross multiply. Different ways I can do it. I will take x on this side. I will take 2 on this side. And I will take 5 on this side. Right or no? Yes or no? And once I do all this, Either I can do them together or I can do them step by step. Depends on how I feel comfortable. I will do them step by step. So I'll take x on the numerator. I'll take 2 also on the numerator. Then I will have 5x equates 6. The value of x will become 6 by 5 according to what we have done in the first case. So answer is 6 by 5. How many of you got the answer? Please raise your hands now. If you get the answer, that is really good, because then the basic of maths is there with you and you have not forgotten. I know that life has been tough for all of us. There's been lockdown. You might not have gone to schools. You might not have studied so much, but still, if you can solve this, I must congratulate you. I must tell you that you are doing exceedingly well. What about the others who have not raised hand? Bhagyavati, Revant, Varun, Vamshi, Saket, Zaid, Jahangir, Ram Charan, Ishwar, Abhi, are you all there? I hope all of you have solved this problem. This was very simple, basic maths, and the heading was linear equation in one variable. Linear equation in one variable. Let me now give you another question and let us see. Remember, all these questions are going to come in physics from the very first chapter, where you will have to solve all these equations. So do not take them as maths. Basically, this is physics only. I'm only going to teach you that part of maths which I require in physics, nothing else. Nothing more, nothing less. I'll not teach you more, I'll not teach you less. I'll just teach you the exact amount. And this is the next equation that I am giving you. X plus 2y is 3. 2x minus y is 5. Now, I would ask you first, just for your general knowledge or general information, what these two equations are known as?
Pair of linear equations.
In two variables.
Linear equation in two variables, pair of linear equation in two variables, whatever you call them, that is the name. Two variables here. What are the two variables that you see?
X and
X
Y.
and Y.
X and Y.
X and y. If I change any of the equation, the value of x and y will change. Therefore, they are known as variable. They are not constant. They are variables. They can change. I'll wait for you to answer. Tell me the value of x and y. There are different ways in which you can do this. I'll tell you my way. You don't have to remember 10 ways. You just have to remember one way. My way may not be the most comfortable one for you. You can do it your way, not a problem. My problem is not how you do it. My problem is that you know how to do it. How you do it, I leave it to you.
Elimination method.
Elimination method, that is the one that I like. Eliminate
First
things.
equation we will multiply with 2 and equate the 2.
Correct. You'll multiply equation number 1 by 2, equation number 2 by 1, or you can multiply equation number 2 by 2 and equation number 1 by 1. Doesn't matter.
Substitution method.
You can substitute as well. You can find the value of x from the first equation. You can put in the second equation, but I always find it more troubleful. I don't know why. I like the elimination one. I don't know why. But if you want to do it by substitution, you are welcome. Not a problem. I'll give you a minute. I'll give you a minute to do this and get back to me with the answers. How do I proceed? And I proceed by a very simple step. I will multiply this equation by 2.
X is equals to 13 by 5. Y
Huh?
is equals to 1 by 5.
Okay.
Yes, sir. 13 by 5.
Okay. Let us see what answer I get. I will multiply the first equation by 2. And I multiply the second equation by 1. And then I will subtract them. Do we understand this? This is my way of doing it. You could have done the other way. You could have multiplied equation number 2 by 2 and equation number 1 by 1 and added them. I hope you understand this. Yes or no? I have multiplied equation number 1 by 2 and 2 by 1 and I'm subtracting. So what will I have? For x, I will have 2x. 2x minus 2x will be 0. So x will go away. For y, I will have 4y. 4y minus of y. That will be equal to 6 plus 5, I guess. Yes or no? Have I done it correctly? Can you check it for me? Have I done it correctly? I make mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes. Have I done it correctly?
6 minus 5.
Yes or no? So what do I have here? I have 5y as 11 and my value of y is coming as 11 by 5. Is it correct? Can anyone check it for me? Is my value of y coming correct? No, sir. What mistake I have made?
5y will 5y is equal to 1, it will come.
5y is equal to 1 will come. Yes. I have made a mistake. I have added here. So we should we should be very careful. Right. Well done. You could spot my mistake. This is -1, -5. So my answer would be 1. I hope everyone is there with me on this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Spot the mistakes so that you don't do these mistakes. These are the silly mistakes that you do. I am giving you examples. I'll keep on doing it so that you are attentive and you understand that these mistakes should not be made. Once I get the value of y beta, I can put the value of y here in this equation, or I can put the value of y here in the other equation. No matter where I put it, I should get the value of x. Can you now tell me the value of x?
13 by 15.
13 by 5, sir.
13 by 5. Let me check it. I will put it in equation number 2. I'll put it in equation number 1. That looks simple. So my equation number 1 will look like this. 2x minus 1 by 5 shall be equal to 5. This implies, do it slowly right now. Do not do any question in a haste. We have lots of time, lots of time, lots of time. We must be very good in these calculations because I have seen most of the students making simple mistakes in this calculation. So I have 1 by 5 plus 5. So how much is 1 by 5 plus 5? I will take 5 as the LCM and I will have 25 plus 1, 26 by 5. Is it correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my 2x will become 26 by 5. That implies my x will become 2 will come in the denominator, 13 by 5. So those are the correct options. The value of y is 1 by 5 and the value of x is 13 by 5. I hope I have done it correctly. Can someone check it for me that I have done it correctly?
Sir.
Correct, sir? Jahangir says explain once again, sir. So I'll explain it once again. I hope Jahangir. What I have done here, I multiplied equation number 2, equation number 1 by 2 and equation number 2 by 1. You multiply them and then you subtract equation number 1 from equation number 2. In equation number 1, I have 2x. In equation number 2, I have 2x. When subtracted, it will become 0. In equation number 1, I will now have 4y. In equation number 2, I have minus y. I subtract, so I get 5y. In equation number 1, I have 6. 6 subtracted. 5 subtracted from 6, I get 1. And here I end up with the value of y as 1 by 5. I put this value of y in this equation and I get the value of x. You can also do it in this equation. You will again get the value of x, and trust me, both the values would be coming same. Can anyone check it for me? Are they coming same? Yes or no? They would come same. If you have done everything correctly, they should come same. Now I would ask everyone, I've lowered all hands. Is there anyone who has not understood? Please raise your hands so that I can explain it correctly again. Anyone who has not understood how this has been done? Simple steps done. Not anything complicated. Very simple things done. Everyone understands this? Great. I'll give you one question and I hope that everyone would be able to do this. How many are feeling confident that you can do the next question? Please raise hands. How many of you are feeling confident that a similar question comes? Sir, and remember, in physics, the question that will come will be of the same type. We don't need to do hard hi-fi maths. Simple question will come just like the one that I'm giving you, and that is a dress rehearsal. We call it dress rehearsal. If you do a function, you do a dress rehearsal. We are doing a dress rehearsal of what is going to come in the coming classes. And here is a challenge question for you. I hope all of you are able to do this. 2x minus 3y, 5, 3x minus 4y is 12. Now, I lower all your hands. I've done that. And I'll wait for your answers for this one. Any method you apply, whether it is elimination or substitution, doesn't matter. The answer should come, and I'll wait for your answers. Everyone is coming with answers. 16 and 9 seems to be the favorite one who is winning. Saket, check your answer whether it is correct or not, because everyone else is getting 16 and 9. What about the others? Waiting for your answer. 1 more minute I'm giving you. Extension of time for everyone. I want answers from everyone. Everyone, beta. Vamshi has given me the answer. Vamshi, well done. 16-9. Your answer is matching with the others. I hope we are not copying answers from the other students. We are finding our own answers. 16 and 9, Karthik says. What about the others? I hope everyone is solving him. 1 more minute. Hari has come up with answer. Welcome, Hari. I hope everyone is solving their own questions and not copying answers. That is not what I am teaching you to copy. Jahangir has come. Great, Jahangir. Okay, I have got enough answers. Let us see how we are going to do it. So someone who has given me the answer will tell me, or anyone, everyone, you can unmute yourself and tell me how you have solved it. Tell me, and I'll do the same. What to do? What should I do here to solve this?
Multiply first equation with 4 and second equation with 3.
2, sir.
Okay, if all of you speak together, I would not be able to make out. But what I'm going to make out is I will multiply this equation by 3, correct? And I will multiply this equation by 2. Is that what you are saying, bacha?
Sir, I did it different way, sir.
Okay. Let me do it this way. This is the way I like. Has anyone done it by this way? Multiply equation number 1 by 3 and multiply equation number 2 by 2?
No, sir.
Okay. Anyway, let me solve by this. Then I will subtract them. So what will happen is x will become 6x in first equation. X will also become 6x in the second equation. Thank you, Saifuddin. You have done it by my way. When I subtract, x will get cancelled. Yes or no? No or yes? Yes. Yes or no?
X equal to 11 coming, sir.
Let us see. So now I multiply minus 3y by 3, and what I get is minus 9y. Everything has been done. Oops, what I've done here. Everything has been done in yellow. Do we understand this? Yes or no? Then the second thing is I'm going to multiply this minus 4y by 2. And I put a minus sign, and I will get minus 8y. I hope I am doing it correctly. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That would be equal to, bacha, 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. 15 minus 2 multiplied by 12 is 24. What I get on this side is minus 9y plus 8y. So I get simply y. Y is equal to, or I should say minus y, not to make a mistake. Minus y is equal to minus 9. If someone got the value of y as minus 9, he must have done the same mistake which I was doing. So the value of y becomes plus 9. Do we understand this? Value of y is 9. Congratulations to everyone who has got this value. If you had not got this value, you would have done a simple mistake. I have done a mistake. Don't worry. Mistakes will go away. Y is 9. So I just put the value of y here, or I just put the value of y here, anywhere, I will get the value of x. In first question, I put the value of y in 1. In this equation, I'll put the value of y in the second equation. So I'll put the value of y here. So how do I get the value of x? 3 times x minus 4 times y, 4 times 9 is equal to 12. That is my equation number 2. 3x minus 9 4s are 36 is equal to 12. 36 will go on the other side. 3x will become equal to 48. And x will become equal to 16. So these are the answers that I am getting. I hope they are correct. If I've done everything correctly, I would get the correct answer. Now, can I have raised hands from everyone who has got their answers and who have understood how to do this? Everyone. Simple things we have done. Hanu, simple things. And we are getting answers. I'm not getting any response from Abhi, Revan, Vamshi, Zaid, Hari, Gunshri. Are we all there in the class, bacha? Okay. Great, Hari. So here we come. Here we come to the end of this class. What we have done in this class, that we have started physics. No, we have not started physics, but we have started basic mathematics or mathematics in physics. We are trying to do simple things in maths. Those things we'll keep on doing in the next class. We'll be doing simple maths that will help us in solving problems in physics. We'll continue this. I hope you have loved this class. I'll meet you in the next class. Till then, it might be possible that I send you some sheets for linear equation. I'll try to find them out. Must be there. I'll send you those sheets, and I'll hope that you can do more practice in those sheets. So see you, and I'll see you in the next class. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Take care. Stay safe. May God bless you all. Bye bye, everyone.